Good morning, everybody. This is Rob Gearing from Club Shop Rewards, Gold Manager here, uh, coming to you live from Pittsburgh, PA, and it's an honor and a pleasure to be here at our Club Shop Rewards Team Rob's Networkers Hangout. So I'm joined today by Miss Janet Legier, Ruby Director for Club Shop Rewards, and Derek Barrington, one of our team leaders. So this is Derek's first show today, so we're excited to have Derek. You'll be hearing from him in a little bit. Today's topic that we're going to talk about is follow-up. And follow-up's a very general word. You know, it's used a lot in marketing, but it's so critical. And anybody who really has succeeded and done very well in the business, things that they do is have good, consistent follow-up. And another term for that is connections, connecting with people. Because we sometimes think, well, I sent an email and they looked at it and they're not interested. And that's just not the case. So the biggest fault or flaw of internet marketing is the reliance on email. It's a good starting point, but you have to go deeper. You know, that's not necessarily pushing people or probing them or you know, beating them up. It's the mere fact that we don't know if they got the information. So we just connect and say, hey, how you doing? I sent you an email. Oh, yeah, I looked at it. Or hey, I never got it. You know, a lot of people don't know to look in their junk folders, their spam folders. Sometimes certain ISPs, internet, let it get to any folder. It just never arrives ever. So then the laws of attraction take place. You know, you connect with them, you find out what they're actually about, what things they are looking for, and maybe there's a match, maybe there's not, and then you move on. So that's just the basic you know, tenet of what we do here for I call it internet network marketing. It's sort of a blend of the disciplines of internet marketing and network marketing coming together. And a lot of people say, I don't like to call. I don't want to be that pushy telemarketer. Things are in your mind. You can be whatever you want to be. Ultimately, I like to just be friendly, have conversations with people, make connections, and see where things go. Pushy, I get it. I don't think anybody really appreciates somebody that's just, oh, are you sure? I just told you no 7 times, and you're still asking me. That's not what good follow-up or good connections is about. It's about standpoint. Tell me about yourself. Let's just get to know each other a little bit. I think you're going to find people are going to be more attracted to your offers. They're going to be more inquisitive and ask you more questions, of what you're about, because you may come off a little different as somebody who actually is genuine. And sort of the setup. We're going to get into specific Club Shop Rewards training for partners today. If you're not a member of Club Shop Rewards, who invited you today, and you may be listening to a recording, so you may wonder, well, how would I get involved in this? Well, we do have it in one of the programs that I own, or actually the only program that I am an actual owner of, is called Traffic Leads to Income VM. It's a viral mailer, which we use to advertise Club Shop. And Club Shop Rewards is in the downline builder there. So you may be a member of Traffic Leads to Income VM already, be able to find Club Shop Rewards in the downline builder. And you may say, well, I've never heard of Traffic Leads to Income VM. Well, that's trafficleadstoincomevm.com, and that's my only plug for that situation today. Okay, so now we're going to go into screen share, and let's go to the entire screen and share. And during the course of this presentation today, if you have any questions, in your upper right-hand corner of your viewing screen, there's a small square. It looks like a Rubik's Cube. You click on that, choose Q&A, and simply say what your question is, your comment. I'd like to hear from anybody who is actually viewing live right now. If you could just check in on the Q&A and say hi, that would be great. Then we can know who's out there. We may be able to ask you a question and get a response too. I like two-way interactions. So it looks like I'm good to go. I am screen sharing right now, so let me move over to my browser then. So this is our familiar Club Shop Rewards partner area. That's after you log in. If you're a partner, you see a partner business center. If you're at one of the different levels, you may be a trial partner that's listening to this. You may be an affiliate. You may be a shopper. Shoppers can become affiliates. Affiliates can become trial partners. Get a 30-day free trial to really get a good view of what the the business opportunity side of Club Shop Rewards is. And that trial partner becomes a partner, does a monthly subscription to our GPS training system with full mall ownership and everything that goes with a Club Shop Rewards upgrade. Then you're seeing this screen right here. So there's that. Okay, so Partner Business Center. We're talking about follow-up. So the first thing, and this is sort of a carryover from last week's training, where we looked at our activity report, which I'm going to pull up again today. It's really one of the first things that you should do in your Club Shop Business Day is looking at your activity report. I go back actually 3 days. It's just a habit that I do. So for my start date, I go back a day, and then the end date, I take it forward a day. This encompasses everything over the last 3 days. I like to look at what has not been followed up on, of course, because if I've already followed up on it, I'm done. So I check mark that box there. You have different options: report type personal, or if you were at the coaching level, you can see what your organization is up to. I'm going to actually see what my organization is up to over the last 3 days. I have all my boxes check marked in this area right here: new affiliate, join, member to affiliate. Any of these activities happen, I'm going to see it in my activity report. So I'm going to click on submit and give that a moment to load. Okay. So one of the things, Club Shop understands follow-up, but what they created was a structure to help document it, so people who are upline leaders can actually see what their team is doing. A lot of times people do a lot of great things, they just don't document it, so nobody knows, they don't get credit for it. So that's the only difference between Club Shop and other opportunities to talk about follow-up is they actually have a documentation system, no more, no less. Think of it like a notepad, a notebook that you would keep. All good, all good business practices have note keeping and note taking and documentation, tracking, and things like that. So I'm looking at a list here of people within my organization where there's follow-ups that are due. Now, in this column number 16, these are reminders. So people that are really good at the system, after they do their first follow-up, they set up a reminder to themselves to follow up again in even what they're going to say to that prospect. And that's all in your Club Shop Rewards partner training. When you become a partner and you upgrade, you should go through the first 4 modules and drink in all that information and follow what it says. And if you have any questions, certainly you have your upline coach to get with, who will help clarify, answer questions, put it into context for you. But I'm going to just pick a record here at random, and this is actually somebody who started a partner upgrade by the name of Abdahim. So I think that may be on Derek's team actually. So I know this wouldn't come as a surprise to Derek, as he is tremendous at follow-up. I can see every day. I get copied on emails. So if you are a partner out there that's sending out follow-ups to people that are in your organization, please copy your upline coach, because it's just nice to see the activity there. So Derek does that. Derek is very good at marking his records. So if I'm working with one of Derek's prospects, like Abdelhim here, I can take a look and see. Oh, no, this is actually Rebecca. I'm sorry. Rebecca is also tremendous at keeping good records. So just like Derek is. So it makes it just easier for the upline. So I can see all the different follow-ups that Rebecca's already had. She can also convey different information that I, as somebody who would be assisting in assisting this individual, can see and use in my correspondence with them. So her last email was on 12/1. So she had a partner upgrade in a trial partner line. So somebody upgraded the partner. She's letting this individual know that happened, okay? Because that's important. That's potentially that is potentially huge, because if this individual upgrades, which they started a partner upgrade, that's going to be the first upgrade in their first line, and we know that's what we call the PRP. We have as many PRPs, personally referred partners, as we have lines. And we build lines one by one. We may have a lot of trial partners in a line, but we're striving to get 2 upgraded partners in a line before we move on to building the next line. Our goal for break even is 3 lines with 2 partners in each line. Our goal for nice income is 10 lines with 2 partners in each line, which is about a 4-figure a month income, which is pretty solid. And then it grows from there, because that's just the base income. There's all the extra other commissions and such to go on top of that based on activity and shopping and your own rebates that you're getting, and merchant activity, and I could go on and on and on. So so very cool. So what this tells me is Rebecca's follow-up was spot on, and it created an action, and it's documented, and that's it. This doesn't take a ton of time. It's just something to work into your daily routine. So very cool. Now, what I wanted to we talked about all this last week. So if you go to youtube.com/c/Rob Gearing, I think that's right. Yeah, youtube.com/c/Rob Gearing, my YouTube channel. You can see last week's presentation, and you'll see basically we talked about how to put these notes in, do the reminders, and everything like that. You just seen a living example today of how important it is, and what happens when you do good follow-ups. It creates an action. Getting somebody to upgrade is not why we spend all the time that we do in our businesses, right? There's still some follow. This is a starting partner upgrade, so there's still the application that has to get submitted and the payment, but it's a good sign. It's a good sign when you see that. I see 12-1, congratulations email, new partner on your team, 12-2, started partner upgrade. What does that say? We could reasonably, it's not a smoking gun, but it's pretty good evidence of why it's all important. So then we get to the right hand. I want to focus on the right hand column, because when we talked last week, and Derek gave us a lot of good information in last week's training that I conveyed to you about the left-hand side of your screen. We kind of went fast on the right-hand side of the screen. That's the follow-up box. So we take a look at, and this particular individual does speak French, so that could make conversation more difficult. With your emails, you can use Google Translate. Club Shop does translate the emails as well. So there is some limitations in that regard. But for English speakers, when you get language preference English, take a look. Cell phone number. Okay. Now, generally, what the club teaches is to go to Skype first. And I don't have my Skype up today. It's only on my iPad. But it's pretty easy to open up your Skype, and there's a search box top left, and you put in the email address. If a Skype isn't indicated here, okay, right now that's blank, so I would grab this email address, I would put that into Skype, search, and I would see if there's a hit. That's the best hit because that's unique to that particular individual. If that doesn't work, I would then try the name and paste that into Skype. Now, I may get 5 or 6 of these individuals because it's a huge database in Skype. I'm going to then match up with the address. So if I see, Abdel from Constantine, country DZ, I got a hit. I've got a match. So I come down to my partner notes, and I would type in Skype, with Skype, and I would give, now I've seen people do that, but not actually give the information that they just found. That doesn't help the upline or anybody that's going to try to jump in and help. So put in good Skype and what that Skype name is, to fill in that blank right there. If there was a Skype already there and I've gone in and it works, I'm going to put good Skype. I don't need to put the Skype name because it's already there. I could also put in no Skype. Okay, but a lot of people stop right there. The Club Shop training actually stops right there. Okay, there's a phone number. That's easy enough to make a phone call and say, hey, this is Rob from Club Shop Rewards, just checking in with you. You're saying, well, am I really going to call Nigeria, or am I going to call France? Am I going to call wherever? Well, that's where you use Skype. You get yourself buy some Skype credit, which is very cheap, and the calling is very cheap. Now you have your Skype as your international communicator. Okay, don't use your own personal cell phone. Don't use your home phone. Use Skype phone to make international calls. Okay, so that's a tip for you today when it comes to follow-up. The other thing is, all right, I'm not satisfied. This is where I go beyond the club training. I'm not satisfied just with Skype. Let me get into Google. I have the name now. I have the name pasted into my clipboard, and I'm going to do a Google search on this name, and I'm going to see what I come up with. I've got a profile on Facebook. I've got names in an encyclopedia. I've got photo gallery. I've got YouTube. Now, I don't know if this all is going to correspond to this individual, but again, we can compare the information that is derived in that follow-up record with what I'm seeing here, toggling back and forth, and I'm going to say, yeah, I think I've got this individual, or just saying, hey, are you the right one that actually joined Club Shop Rewards? I've done that, and somebody says, oh no, I'm sorry, but what is Club Shop Rewards, by the way? I've had that happen. Or yeah, I am. Nice to meet you. Didn't get any of your emails. Would have never known nothing about nothing if you didn't connect with me. And that's the power of it. It's just simple common sense. I want to get as close to the prospect as I can in order to be able to explain to them what it is when they get involved, to be able to coach and mentor them and everything like that. So that's it. Use your simple Google search. Now, come back to your record. Be a good record keeper. You could put in Twitter name. You could put in their Google Plus. You could put in YouTube channel. You could type anything in that right-hand side. Add partner notes. So that's just for your means of contact, ways that you've connected. Okay, you don't have to overly put too many notes in there, but tell your upline what you're doing. Tell your upline that you found a Facebook for this person. Tell your upline that you found a Twitter. Whatever the case may be. Maybe Pinterest. I don't know. Like, it's just, there's so many different ways to connect with people. Then on your left-hand side, as you have legitimate conversations, coachings, that's where you can document in greater detail. Talked with Abdel today, gave info on local merchants. Okay. Then there we go. We sort of, just like Rebecca's done with her notes here, we have a, and then you just hit submit to save that note. And if you want to put it yourself in another reminder for a future follow-up, reminder notes and reminder date, that'll show in your activity report on that given day that it's time to follow up. Okay, it shows in red. So just simple, good note keeping and documentation. I mean, it's a good structure and a good discipline to follow, which will make you more effective and successful in Club Shop Rewards. As I scroll down and look at all the great notes that Rebecca's put in about this prospect, and it's about to pay off in a partner upgrade. So I'm going to turn it over now to Janet here. My wrap up is just simply it's connecting, connecting with people. That's what follow up is all about. And moving on, if not pestering, moving on. If somebody clearly isn't interested, or they didn't really know what they were opting into, now they know. They're interested, they're not interested. There it is. And then you just keep moving forward with new people to touch base with, because that's what it's a people business, and that's what makes it happen. That's what makes the income is derived from good follow-up, in my opinion. So let me come back to the hangout here, and I'm going to take my mic off and hear Janet's thoughts about Club Shop Reward follow-up. So let me turn the screen share off and take my mic off.
Hey Rob, that was a phenomenal review, and you know what? To be honest with you, I almost, pardon me, I almost think you need to go through that every week, because members seem to forget that's really the lifeline of this business, that activity report, that you can find out anything you want to find out about all the people in your downline right there. It's right there, and at any time you've got access to go and do your best to connect with people. Something you touched on here that, pardon me, really just rang rang so true for me because it's something I'm facing every day with people. They get challenged because they can't convince people to do things. They can't get them to take action, and they get annoyed about it. They get frustrated, and I appreciate that. And because they're doing their job, they're in here, they're following up, and people aren't responding. And I just want to say to everyone out there listening that give yourself a break. And number one thing you got to remember, it's not your job to convince anyone to do anything. It's your job to simply get that information out there. It's your job to be interested. And I always tell people that it's one of my favorite sayings from Marshall Silver is learn to be interested rather than interesting. So you need to learn about your prospects. And, Rob showed you how to go and investigate and see if you can find them and make contact. And I know it's a challenge to have those conversations. And I got to tell you, it takes time to go and do all this. But if you're not willing to invest that time, your business isn't going to grow. And by the same token, if you're investing the time with the wrong attitude, your business isn't going to grow. So keep in mind, it's not your job to convince anyone to do anything. It's your job to listen, to learn, find out what they're looking for, and guide them where they need to go. If they're not the right prospect to grow Club Shop with you, that's okay. It's not your job to convince them otherwise. It's not for everyone. But you want to look for those people who do say yes and who say, this is really cool, what do I do? And you work with them. And as long as they're active and they're doing things and they're following suit and they're being a leader, they're promoting, they're doing their activities every day, got to tell you guys, it's been proven time and time again, if you do a little bit of concerted effort every single day to market your Club Shop business, whether it's promoting a lead capture page is what Rob and I both recommend, or just going out individually and talking to people on social networks and asking them if they shop, that kind of thing, and just sending them to your Club Shop site. Whatever you're doing, you need to do it every day. And if you do it every day, you'll start to see growth in your business. And if you follow what Rob showed you here as far as follow-up, and you become consistent with it, and you reach out to people, and you become a leader, which means you're not here to convince anyone to do anything. You're here to educate them. That's all. You're here to offer information, see if they need help. Offer information, see if they need help. Keep it simple, but do it consistently. Change your mindset, okay? That's the biggest one out there for everyone who's marketing online, and probably anyone in any kind of network marketing business. It's I think what destroys all their businesses is their mindset. They lose faith. They get disillusioned. Things aren't happening fast enough, and they don't have the right attitude when they're going out there. They're trying to convince. Nobody wants to listen to me, and you got to change your attitude and just recognize that you are sitting on an amazing business here, a very simple, amazing business that can be part of what you're doing. It can be part of what everyone's doing. It can be your main focus, or it can be a part of everything else that you're doing, as it is for me. It's an additional income stream, and it's quite magical. I find that when I do a little dripping, I do a little marketing for Club Shop, my Club Shop business starts to grow. When I'm focused on follow-up, my Club Shop business starts to grow. Trial partners become partners when they see that interaction, when they hear from you personally. So make follow-up important, but my advice today is stop trying to convince people to do things. In other words, really, stop looking at what's not happening in your business. If people aren't responding, so what? If they don't respond, go and try something else and see if you can get people to respond. You're not trying to convince them to do anything. You simply want to get them to respond yes, no, or maybe, right? And so do everything in your power to do that, and your business will grow. And remember, I don't know where there's a better team on the internet to build any business than right here with Club Shop, with Rob and myself, with the team that we have together here, with our leaders in Scott and Julia, with the system here at Club Shop Rewards. If you can't make this work, you're not even trying. Back over to you, Rob. Great call today. This was awesome information.
Thanks, Jen. I appreciate that. Very good input as well. Yeah, I think we're totally totally on the same page and aligned from the standpoint of the mind. I like that mind. You know, you always take it into the mindset level, which is picking up on that myself, trying to not hammer the square peg in the round hole as hard, but you know, just relax, have fun with it. Attraction marketing. You know, I'm still tenacious on the inside. I'm still aggressive, but you know, it's a toned down. That's internal drive, but the prospect or whoever you're talking to, like you said, I like the Marshall Silver quote. Be more interested than interesting, if I got that right. I know the interested in who you're connecting with there. So very good stuff as always. Okay, Derek, it's your turn now. So what say you about Club Shop Rewards follow-up?
Yeah, thanks, Rob. I can only reiterate really what both you and Janet have said. I think it's when you sometimes get a partner given to you, or somebody stops being a partner for some reason, and you end up with some of their downline, and you've got no good record there. They might have notes that they understand, but that doesn't mean to say that I'm going to understand those notes. And I think it's important that we make sure that our notes are clear for other people as well as ourselves. So in the unfortunate circumstance of you no longer carrying on with Club Shop, somebody else can take over for you and keep a good level going with the customers or the potential customers. I think Janet was right. It's a time to make yourself or listen to what other people are saying, so that you take in their interests, and it gives you a much better idea of what they may do in the future. You know, it doesn't matter how we go about it. Without forcing people to do anything, we're just trying to educate them on what is available online. Now, I can only say, again, I agree with Janet and Rob. Certainly, this is one of the best teams I've ever worked with. I've known Janet for many years over different things. I've known Rob through Traffic Leads to Income over several years as well. So it's, you know, we've got marketers on this team that have a proven record, and we really need to be taking note of what those people say, because they're the ones that can really help us. Go out and look for where your trial partners are. Make sure you can get in contact with them, but don't be pushy. But do keep sending the emails without being pushy, because one of these days they might just pick up an email and think, oh yeah, I'm ready for that now. And here you go, we get a trial partner and hopefully a partner from it. We know not everybody who becomes a trial partner is going to become a partner, and we all work on that. But we also need to work on the fact that they may one day just want to come in. So, you know, there's nothing wrong every couple of weeks, just an email, just to remind them Club Shop's still there. And let's face it, everybody goes shopping, don't they? Well, why not make some money when you go shopping and buy it from the mall and get yourself discounts everywhere? Okay, thanks. Over to you, Rob.
Well, thanks, Derek. Great debut there. Good job. Good information. Yeah, appreciate that so much. A lot of things there. And yeah, the product. You know, this was about follow up, and this was about, you know, kind of partners. You know, driving to the product, making those purchases at the Club Shop Mall. Get your cash rebates. That's a side. I hate to call it income, because rebates really aren't income, but saving you money through the Club Shop Mall, which is our biggest when we talk about our product. You know, we have local merchants, we have some opportunities in some different areas, but the mall is the most highly penetrated and most substantial part of our product offering. When you're talking, you know, you got Macy's in there, you've got every country has their own, you know, different things that are inherent to them. But yeah, that's just easy rebates, easy money savings. So now I'm going to kind of go into a little something else here, a little extra. We talk about, you know, talking about follow-up, talking about, you know, not being pushy, talking about, you know, all these topics that we put on the table. So I am the upline, you know, Team Rob's Networkers. So I've got a responsibility to make sure that I'm guiding the team properly. I'm not anybody's boss, so to speak. Now I manage sometimes blend, and Janet always tells me sometimes that this is not offline stuff here. This is a little different. So I sometimes get it's a lot of transition that I do from online to offline as I literally work around the clock, driving, going on and stuff like that. So definitely what I do offline, I guide and manage and inspire people, but a little different. There's more accountability. I can't hold anybody accountable here. What I ask from people on the team is just to look within yourself and say, what can I do for myself and my family? Because it's really, entrepreneurship is all about being self-motivated. Leadership online. So for my leaders, now my folks that are team leaders and above, this is where you have to look and say, I'm going to, and this is a offline quote, inspect what you expect. Now that's a little managerial, that's a little accountability thing, but I think that it's a good practice for the leadership team to just spot check some of these follow-up records, because you will find that you've got pockets on your team that leave no records anywhere. We all have them. Janet's got it on her team. I've got some folks, Derek, we all have people that maybe they never really got the training, they aren't really clear. There's no indictment, there's no bad, I'm gonna, put you in the corner or anything like that. But I just think from a standpoint of, if it depends on who's listening today and where you're at, in your business. Everybody to say, what's my next opportunity? What's my next promotional level? But certainly, if you've gotten to a level where you've got, several partners underneath you, it doesn't hurt to be that mentor, that champion. And the spot checking it's not that you're trying to, embarrass anybody, or whatever you want to say. It's more to help them and say, oh, here we have an opportunity. Let me, hey, take somebody over to one of my videos. You don't have to go through the whole thing always. There's a lot of videos on my channel that are available. But I just think, making sure that for the people coming in, getting at least the information, that they're due to make the, decision whether they're going to move forward and do more. It's an exciting time. It's the end of the year. We have a new year coming. We have a lot of people who are at team leader. I just updated income.com/blog/club shop rewards. You'll notice, I just noticed that there are, let me call some names out here. This is our portion of our show. So team leaders are very, very close to being coaches. And that's really the goal, I think. First goal is to come in lines with 2 partners in each line. Then you're pretty much staring coach level in the face, and that's where it really starts to take off for you. So it's on the board right now: Teresa Siebert, Carlos Lurio, Georgia Jenkins, Jennifer Davis, Wayne Randall. That just came in last. Webster. Congratulations to Sandra, and our Derek that's with us today. Congratulations. So those are our team leaders. We have Rebecca. Ricardo Weatherly is a bronze manager, currently opening for silver manager. I'm at gold, and Janet Legier at ruby. So people, team players / active partners, who their goal would be to be team leaders and beyond. The team leaders should be the coach level. I want to be a team captain. Team captain saying, my goal is to become bronze. But I will tell you, as a team leader, if you're listening, and you will be stuck at team leader until you upgrade, no matter how much business or how much growth happens in your organization. You simply have to go in and upgrade to the pro level in order to get that bump to team captain, the extra training that you get. It's all about the coaching training and being a coach when you hit that level. And ultimately, we're all looking forward to being directors someday with the organization. So anyway, that's it for me. That's all I've got today. Let me come back to my panel, see if there's anything else that you guys want to follow up on. Janet, anything else from you? today? Okay. How about you, Derek? Anything else you'd like to add?
My apologies, Rob. I just got totally interrupted there. I do want to add something. You know, this business is simple, right? And like I touched on before, just every day, I was just talking to someone online, and you know, she's been offline for quite a while because she got like way overwhelmed and just getting too personally involved in everything. And so I'm going to ask you guys to dissociate yourselves from the business for a little while and focus on feeding your funnel, get people into your list, get connected with people, and learn to do this. Okay, we've got everything here. We've all said that. We've got a great business, an amazing team. You have no reason not to succeed here. So listen to what we're teaching you here. Take the advice. Step back a little bit. Don't get so personal about it. Don't get so, oh my God, I didn't get 3,000 people signed up today. You know, focus on the things you are doing, the activity you're seeing. I promise you, if you follow the steps that either Rob or I are teaching and you do what we're teaching you to do, you're going to see results and your business will grow and you're going to make money. That's why we're all here. All right, guys, that was awesome. Thank you, Rob. I really appreciate your leadership.
Derek, any final thoughts from you?
No, not really, Rob. I think everything's been pretty well covered. I mean, we have got to think of everything we can do to keep everybody interested in the program, and it's their interest in the program that pays off for us. We know we're interested, that's why we're in the positions we are now, but it's making sure that the others below us are interested, and we can do that with things like following up. We need to make sure everybody is aware of all the benefits they can get from Club Shop, not just some of them. And I think there are several of them who really haven't discovered all the benefits we've got here. That's all for me. Thanks, Rob.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think, you know, in summary, it's all about documentation, and it's all about, again, looking at what level you're at and what additional training you know, that you may need, or what your next goal is, as we talked about. And those who have, you know, gotten up pretty far in the organization, just maybe taking a step back and doing some inspecting of some of their team members and their records, just to make sure that you know, they understand the benefit of doing what we trained about. It's a tedious task, but it's to help them in the regards that they're upline and then can jump in and be in a better position to you know, to follow up as well. Because hey, how nice would that be to somebody? You know, hey, I called your prospect, I closed it for you, and there you go, you have a new partner. You know, all good. So, you know, it's all teamwork at the end of the day. This is what this is about. And like I said in the beginning, follow-up is important in every business, online, offline, whatever. Club Shop just created a method for us to track and document, which is you know, which is good, because it's good for you to review your records, and you know, it's good for others that are in a position to help you. So thank you very much. Any questions from the audience? I know we have a couple viewers out there today. Any little Rubik's Cube looking box in the upper right of your viewing screen with a question, a comment. We didn't have anybody really check in with us today. Everybody's kind of quiet out there in you know, in the audience. But if there's any final things that you have, we're willing to stay and answer a good question. So
Rob,
let us know. Oh, go ahead, Janet.
I just noticed in the Skype group, Vincent or somebody couldn't get in. Like when they went to the page, it just brought up the yellow Google Hangout thing, and it didn't have the video. And I went to the website and same thing. So I'm thinking there's a little glitch there, so hopefully the recording is working really well, because this was a great call today. That would explain why we're not seeing any questions.
Yeah, that's interesting. If there's anything, but I see viewers, so they pop back and forth. Yeah, that's interesting. All right, we'll see if the recording takes then. I'll have to do a little bit more investigation on that. Okay, well, thank you, Janet. Thank you, Derek. And thanks, everybody live and those who will hear this, the recorded version, which we hope takes. Thank you, and I'll let you everybody know. I'll be sending an email out. I'm now going to do a weekly email with the link for the call and and all that kind of good stuff. So you'll be with the day and the time. So hopefully we'll do the Thursday, but not sure yet about the time. Specifics on our next Club Shop Hangout. Until then, have a great rest of your marketing week. Here's to massive success. Everybody that works with you and around you, and talk soon. Thank you.